Hey everybody, Mike here again, coming at you with another reading. Today I'm going to do just a general reading for the collective, just a channel message from Spirit, from our angel team, just to see what they have to say. Don't forget to like, subscribe my YouTube channel, YO Universe. Also, I am open to feedback, so please provide feedback and down in the comments. And I am doing personal readings, so if you're interested, go ahead and my information is down in the description box, or you can inbox me and let me know, and I got you. So we're just going to go ahead and get started. So I'm not really going to I'm going to do the cards as it flow. I might pull the cards out while I'm talking. I might, I might just shuffle the whole time. I don't know how it's going to go. I'm just going to just submit to Spirit, allow Spirit to say and do what Spirit want to say and do. And then we'll take it from there. So, the first thing I'm seeing is a circle. And I'm sensing Spirit really telling this group, whoever this is for, watch your circle. Watch the people that are around you, because people can be very, very fickle. People can change quickly, and people can only be about what they want and don't give you. And I also hear Spirit say, tell people what you want. Like, don't just allow people to get from you what they want from you, but you have to also speak what you want. You have to speak your piece and not allow yourself to really succumb to, people's demands. Conflict is very interesting because I don't want to sit here and turn this into a course on conflict, but there's 5 different ways of dealing with conflict. And I think they call them the 5 C's, and I can't remember on top of my head exactly what the 5 C's are. You can, on your own time, go ahead and look them up, because I'm going to try to work off this with my memory. But it's pretty much choosing which route you want to handle with conflict. If you're going to accommodate the person 100%, or are you going to come up with a compromise, right? That's one of the C's, is compromise. Are you going to compromise with this person? Or are you just going to completely just worry about what you want and not really look out for the other person and what they want? Life is all about a give and take. And if you're not willing to give back in that conflict, or give back in the altercation, or give back to whatever the outcome, whatever you guys want the outcome to be, it must be equal. Both parties must be able to walk away with something. And that's what conflict tends to bring up. And after you leave conflict, you usually leave with something less, or with more, or equal to what the person walked away with. So the goal is try to hear what people's needs are in the midst of the conflict, in the midst of the arguing, and draw those issues out, and let the person know, like, yeah, I hear what you're saying, but this is the need that I hear as you begin to talk, or as you begin to scream, or as you begin to yell. I'm hearing that this is your need. And then when you reflect that need back to that person, they may open up and let you know, yeah, this is what I need. And then you can choose if you're going to accommodate that need, or if you're going to say, okay, if you need that, this is what I have and this is what I need. And then through conversation, you work through it, and then both parties walk away feeling unresentful and unslighted. But you have to fight for what you need, and you have to stand up for what you need. I'm also sensing, for some individuals who are watching this, Spirit may have been telling you to go on a vacation. Like, I'm seeing like Jamaica, I'm seeing the beachfront, I'm seeing clear blue waters, I'm seeing clean sands, beautiful sands. Spirit is wanting you to take some time to rest and vacate, because I'm sensing for whoever this message is for, you've been working hard, but you've also been taking a lot of shit from people. And Spirit wants you to kind of take that break and that rest to restore your fuse. I'm also sensing for a message coming through about restoration. I'm sensing restoration is coming to some individuals who are watching this. That Spirit is providing resources for you to get back on your feet the way that you've been trying to get back on your feet. I'm also sensing that Spirit wants to let you know not to give up. That yes, it gets hard. Yes, it gets really difficult. But sometimes Spirit has to show us that we're all we have sometimes. And I'm a believer now where people have to help themselves, but then you're supposed to support them. We as humans, like, we have such angelic and spiritual support. But when we don't utilize that support, we can feel like we don't have support. And it's not easy to always try to connect with Spirit and Spirit guides for guidance and how to move and what to do and how to get through the situation. Either way, Spirit is still supporting you, even if you can't hear or see them. And it's in that support that we find our strength, that we realize that we do have everything that we need. That in us is everything you need, because in you is all the resources that Spirit can provide. Spirit is in you. Greater is He that's in you than he that's in the world. What that means is greater is the divine, the Spirit guides, the angels in me than any opposition outside of me. And I speak protection over this pile as well. I mean, this, whoever is watching this, whoever this is for, the collective general message is for anyone who's watching this, and I'm hoping it's resonating. But Spirit is really encouraging you to spend a little bit more time understanding what's going on inside your heart. Because the heart, and I can't pretend like I know a lot about the anatomy of the heart or the anatomy of the soul, pretty much. Feelings and emotions, not my, strongest understanding. I'm constantly learning about emotions. I'm constantly learning about thoughts, right? And the heart is the house of the thoughts. The thoughts live there. Your emotions, your meditations. And let me fix that. The mind is the house of the thoughts, but the heart is the mind of our emotions, our intentions, our motivations. And out of the heart flows the issues of life. Your life flows out of your heart. What you like, what you want, that's all your heart overflowing out into this world. And when your heart is not able to create and produce, there can be feelings of being incontent, not really finding or being able to find exactly what you're looking for and what you want. The heart chakra is very important. Just imagine life just operating from the mind. If we made decisions only from the mind, there can be a lot of progression, but is there any growth? The mind brings progression, but the heart brings growth. So if you're operating from the mind, you can progress, but if your heart is not operating on a proficient level, and I'm talking about not physical, I'm talking about emotional, the heart chakra. If you are not operating from a place of love, compassion, feeling, but even feeling the bad emotions and bad frequencies and your own negativity, if you're not able to feel those things, the good and bad issues of the heart, because the heart is like the moon, it changes. The moon is the earth's heart, is how I see it. And whatever the moon phase is in and what zodiac is in, that describes the feeling, the emotional atmosphere of the earth. Because the sun is like the mind of the earth, but then you have the moon, which is the heart of the earth. And it gives us seasons, it gives us times. The moon gives us guidance, direction, understanding, gives us insight, and most of all, it cleanses and purifies us. So we have the sun, which we can compare as the mind, the human mind. There will be progression, right? But the moon provides a home for us beyond just the physical world. It's mysterious, it's mystical. The moon is the soul of the earth. So if your heart is like the moon, but it's a satellite part of you, but it's inside of you, instead of it orbiting around you, it's inside of you. But it does the same thing the moon does. It changes every morning, throughout the day, at night. The different zodiacs can represent the different heart spaces. Heart spaces is like mindsets. Whatever heart space you in, that is the climate of where you are. That's the weather, right? And the goal is to create a safe climate for your heart. Life is all about placing your heart in a safe environment. Forget about the body, forget about the mind. Where you go, what you do, your heart is there. And your heart is very sensitive, just like how in the ear, our audio system in our ears, the ability to receive sound is very sensitive to frequencies. Like the hairs inside of our ear, when it moves at the slightest, lowest frequency, it's very sensitive. The heart is very sensitive to the environment. The job of the heart is to let you know where you are metaphysically. It's an indicator. So if your heart is not feeling well, if your heart is not feeling good, what environment are you in? The heart needs a safe environment. It's very sensitive to the environment and its intake. Because the mind desires to put out into the world, just like the sun desires to put out as much force and power of itself out there. But the heart, like the moon, desires to receive. It's constantly moving and pulling the tides in the water. Your heart is sensitive to the environment. Now, some of us have a greater capacity to receive metaphysical sensory output from the environment. Some of us don't. depending on how much heart space you use and how much mind space you use. But if you are a heart space person more than a mind space person, you have to live a life where the environment is always suitable for you. Because you will, for instance, you can be in a very tough metaphysical environment, which can be somewhere, let's say, someone using drugs in a wet house or something. If you enter in there, you're in your heart space and you're a heart space person or a filler, you're going to feel that probably more than the person who's always in their mind space, their environment. That doesn't mean that it changes because I feel it more than the person who's in their mind space. The mind space person can help me to navigate it, while my heart space person can let them know, constantly give them feedback of the results of what's going on metaphysically. And some people who are mind space people who prefer to operate through the logic, they can tolerate more low vibrational metaphysical environments. They can tolerate it. They don't. Their hearts are not that sensitive to the frequencies in there. But if you are a heart space person, it can be very difficult for you to live somewhere, even though physically it can look well, but metaphysically, is it really serving you? And you'll know when it's not serving you. It'll just be time to move on. Okay? So let's go ahead and pull a couple cards. And the moon card is on the back. I'm going to pull 2 of these cards. You know, in the Six of Pentacles, it gives me very much heart energy, heart space energy, because on the Rider-Waite deck, the original tarot deck, the Six of Pentacles is someone holding flowers or selling flowers and giving some to a friend. And the Six of Pentacles does result in past memories, friendship, strong connections. But it being in reverse is showing me Spirit may be dealing with some past connections. Spirit could be dealing with some old connections, and not just with people, but with your own self. Are you still connecting to the old you? Are you still connecting to the old you? Six of Pentacles. But Spirit is putting that to an end. All those previous connections, all those old connections, those old mental wirings, see, the mind has plasticity, which means that it is resilient, that if it wants to change, it can. It takes some time, but the wiring and the pathways in our mind that's created through repetition and habit can be undone with new behaviors. And new pathways can be formed. But the heart can do the same thing. It has emotional plasticity. You can remove these old pathways, these old connections. If you spend a little bit more time examining yourself, learning yourself, looking within yourself, seeing who you are, seeing yourself, because Spirit is bringing it to an end. And just like I said, the moon on the back of the deck, This is all about your heart space. It's all about your heart space. And Spirit is renewing your intuition and restoring it. All right. But with the storyteller card and the gossip card coming out together, you can be dismayed about people and their bullcrap. People going to talk, people going to gossip. That is advertisement to your dreams. So don't even see it as advertisement. People going to say, people going to do, but it's just advertisement for, you know, God getting you out there. And with the angel card, you are protected. You are well taken care of. Okay. So let's see. We got the, put one more card. We got the Chariot card with the Queen of Cups. And I feel like that ending this message, pretty much Spirit is saying it's good to go. There's a completion of things happening with the World card. And with the Chariot and the Queen of Cups card, the Spirit saying it's good to go. Because the Queen of Cups is associated with the Moon card. This is a side view of that person sitting right there. This is you dealing with your heart space and growing in it. Okay? Love you guys. Stay connected. Stay strong. Peace and blessings. Don't forget, like, subscribe, comment. Also provide feedback and review. Love you guys.